Gentlemen, I am about to show you 5 crucial stages your relationship has to go through to reach long-term love. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Whether you're sitting down to have an evening with me on YouTube or you're just sitting on the toilet going through some quick videos trying to fix your marriage before you have to get back to it, I'm glad you're here. When men reach out to me for a consultation, I typically show them a few slides to help them get clear on where their relationship is right now so that we can know where to go to next. I decided it's time to go ahead and put those slides out here on YouTube so that they can start helping more men. I want to give full credit to Dr. Jed Diamond, a friend of my colleague who introduced me to the seasons, the 5 seasons that every relationship does go through. Let's get into it. The reason why we can't just use the advice of a random video on YouTube is because relationships go through different seasons. What is effective for one result in one season is not effective in a different season. If you're dating or you've hardly known her for less than a year, then doing things like no contact can make you mysterious and draw her towards you. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you are well past that stage. So let's look at the 5 relationship seasons fueled by her fear. I say fear because feminine energy goes through life with a lot more fear than masculine even realizes. I've never gone out to start my car and had a panic attack that I might get mugged or that I might get raped. There's a lot of subconscious fears that women are constantly wrestling with that us men are just obliviously not experiencing. Some of those fears bled out when we first met our wife. In that new relationship season, we were free, we were single. Our attraction was the highest because we had a life that we were living. We didn't need her to come into it to make it be exciting. We were already doing things that we loved. We had connections. It was attractive. But when she met us and started to find desire towards us and a relationship started, her fear started to kick in. What if he's still seeing other girls? What if he doesn't choose me? And so from that fear, most women tend to kind of push for the question of, hey, are you seeing other girls? Is it just you and me? We're exclusive, right? To resolve her fear, the man makes a decision. Yes, babe, it's just you and I. I'm not chatting with the other girls anymore. It's just you and me. Okay, we've resolved her fear. Masculine loves to resolve stuff. We like to then chill and go with the flow. Well, the flow is quickly interrupted because it's not long after that she starts wanting the next fear resolved. Are we going to get married? I mean, we've been dating for a long time. See, she's wanting to know what's next. And this is an important trait of masculinity. Masculinity always knows where it's going, and that helps feminine relax. Well, most of us, we just kind of enjoyed the girlfriend aspect for a long time and probably would have enjoyed it for life, but she really wasn't okay. She wanted to know what's next. And so what did we end up doing? We most likely ended up proposing. And now what's next? Where are we going to get married? Where's our house going to be? Are we going to have kids? So all these fears of her emerge and are resolved by the man typically during this monogamous season. But as we're getting locked in, we are slowly becoming domesticated. We're starting to bend around her. We're starting to live life around her life. And we're starting to let go of some things that maybe were important to us for the sake of the relationship. In this bonded partner season, our attraction is honestly going down, 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 because all the edges, all the scary things, all the excitement about us is slowly being drained out of us by us resolving her fears and focusing our life around her wishes and wants. This season of bonded partner season also comes about because by now we're being intimate, we're being physically affectionate, we're having lots of sex. So all of the dopamine that we initially experienced that gave us the honeymoon type feelings around each other is biologically being pushed out of our brains because orgasm releases a lot of oxytocin, which suppresses dopamine. So now you feel more like good friends, you feel bonded, you feel like family, but that spark that you once knew is gone. And this is a normal progression. Every relationship is going to do this. But it arises a new fear in her. Where to from here? What's next? She starts to almost have a midlife crisis as she realizes, is this it? Is this all it's ever going to be? Honestly, by now, the man is so kicked back and relaxed and enjoying the ride Because, hey, we put a ring on it. Now we're going to have somebody that's our wife till we die, right? That was a delusional idea that we grasped onto. Honestly, our marriage started to die the night of our wedding, and we didn't know it because something like connection, attraction, and an intimate experience with a female has to be recreated every day or it doesn't exist. You cannot ride on yesterday's experiences to mean that you have something today. But we did. We acted in ways around her that we would never have acted if we knew we could lose her. We behaved in ways that we wouldn't have done to one of our own friends. Yet here we treated her with tones in our voice and objections and arguments and demands in ways that were way outside of appropriate in like a work setting. But because we thought we had put a ring on her finger and we were tied together for life, we could get away with it. Well, all of this really does push her into the disillusionment phase. When a woman is in the disillusionment season, she's starting to really question if she married the right man. Most of us men, though, are kind of oblivious when this first arises in her. Every relationship is going to hit this, though. You didn't pick the wrong person. There's only one path forward to long-term love. That long-term love emerges from the disillusionment season because of a life built around shared values. So notice that it started off due to high attraction, physical affection, and a lot of emotion. Although long-term relationships can still experience those things, that is no longer your baseline or your foundation for the relationship. The next slide I show you is what I've contributed to these 5 seasons because I have seen a pattern with the men I've worked with and in my own marriage of the stages women typically go through when they're in that disillusionment stage. Now, within the disillusionment season, there are 5 stages a woman will typically go through. On the far left, we see the self-improvement season. This one I missed. Most guys do miss this one. At this point, our wife noticed something was off. She thought, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to do more housework. Maybe I need to go get some therapy done. Maybe I'm the one with the problem. And she kind of ups her game for a while. The reason us men miss this one is the marriage feels like it's getting better. She maybe is pushing for intimacy more or date nights more, or she seems to be more engaged. And we're like, all right, this seems getting better. No, she's just hoping it was better and she's trying to do her part. On the heels of this self-improvement season, though, there is something to notice. She stops complaining about the relationship so much. What's really going on when we think, oh, the marriage is finally better, we're not fighting as much, we get along better, it's that she doesn't care. A woman who does not care about the relationship isn't going to argue or push her point. It is a good, healthy sign in marriage when you have a wife who has a constant complaint or objection. It means she cares. She cares about you. She cares about the family. She cares about what's going on. You want a woman who cares. On the heels of that checking out season of not caring, you're going to notice a shift in the bedroom. You're going to find you're initiating all the sex. You're going to find she's not really enjoying it or engaging in it. She's just kind of laying there like a starfish, letting you do your thing. So that's a red flag to watch out for. Not long after that, you're going to hear, I'm not in love with you, but I love you. That season can hurt, and that wakes up a lot of men when they realize, oh, something is wrong. There's 2 ways the pendulum tends to swing when a woman enters this season. She either goes full ice queen, silent treatment, you just can't even emotionally crack her open. But then her friend will call and she'll get on the phone and be all laughy and normal with them. And as soon as she's off, she's back to the mummy mode. Or because she is experiencing a lot of tension, uncertainty, resentment, or whatever high buzzing emotions are in her, it can also make her very horny. This can be extremely confusing for men because suddenly the sex level spikes in the relationship and it's possibly some of the most wildest, best sex they've ever had. But that's only because she's transferring that energy into release. So do not use sex as a gauge to whether or not your marriage is improving. I've made a video on that actually if you want to listen more about that. Right after this season, though, there's the I need space season. And it starts off small where she just needs you to sleep in the other room or she is sleeping in the other room. Not long after that, she's sleeping at another location. It's a pretty short window between the I need space to the I'm done. I want a divorce. To give you an idea, typically when we're working with men, we see this process happen over the course of 2 years. And for every month you go deeper into this, the chances of reversing the relationship and avoiding a divorce are less and less. I will be completely honest with you guys. Once you've heard the words, I'm done, I want a divorce, only 4% of men turn relationships around at that point. It is an extremely low number. I'm just being realistic with you so you don't go out there and unload your life savings into some package that claims to turn your relationship around. Because if you're in a different season here, that package isn't going to do what it claims it can do. That's for a different season. We need to come to terms with where we are. We can't go anywhere until we come to terms with where we are. Another mistake a lot of guys make when they see these seasons arising is they think these things are root causes when they are only symptoms. Obligation sex, ice queen. Here we are on YouTube Googling how to soften an ice queen wife when you're trying to fix a symptom. You're trying to put oil in an engine that's already thrown a rod. This is not the stuff to be addressing at any point along this. What effectively works for reversing one stage of marital disillusionment cannot be successfully applied to the next stage. I'm sharing this with you guys so you can see that I'm being completely honest with you and not trying to sell you some snake oil or some get your marriage saved quick scheme. I'm a normal guy like you who is sitting here drinking a cup of coffee with no sugar in it. I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of guru that has mastered the perfect plan that works every time. I'm going to be very real with you, very practical with you, so you can make clear decisions based on truth and honesty and not disillusionment and not on false hope. But there is hope. Your next chapter is going to be the best part of your novel that you've ever written in your life, especially if you have guidance on the key principles that are necessary to do this. See how this is such a bigger thing than just a failing marriage? We're talking about you as a man and the legacy you're leaving on this planet. There's a way higher bar to start talking about and way deeper stuff to start working on. And then things like marriage, relationship, sex, intimacy, family will naturally come alongside you. This is the kind of work that I do with men. Stuff that is so real and so deep, it'll blow your mind and change your life for the rest of your life. If you're passionate about not sitting on the sidelines and just being a bystander while life happens to you, and you are serious about leveling up and having more of what you want to have in this life, you should talk to me. That's the kind of man I am. I don't settle for halfway. I don't pick and poke at what's cheap and easy. I'm ready to do the hard work and do the real things that need to happen in this life to create what I want. I'd love to have a conversation with you if you are an equally passionate man. This conversation will go deep and possibly change the course of your ship that's sailing for the next 20 to 30 years. This is a serious investment, a massive change in the way you've been doing life. Go to my website and fill out the Get Grounded Now consultation form, and we'll have a talk. Take care, brothers.